Peace to the family, to my comrades, and it's always smoke to the COINTEL Pro boxing fan. Please give me a good one in the chat if you can hear me. Please give me a one in the chat if you can hear me. Test, test, test. We got the new microphone working it. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Let me see. Salute Isaiah W in the house. Let me get a one if you can hear me in the chat. Matter of fact, I know what to do. Let me do this right here. Give the family time to come on in. Let's see if we gonna switch. Yeah, man. There it is. Test, test, test. I'm in there. Get in there, get in there. Family, I hope everyone is having an outstanding day. I just want everyone to know we are doing some big things over here. You all have been supporting me. So I went and got a green screen, little backdrop. I'm gonna have to get a much bigger one. I thought the 56-inch would be big enough, but I was wrong. Um, we got the microphone. We got a new webcam up here. I have some noise counseling equipment. Patrice X in the house. Coach looked like Martin when he was at radio. Oh, salute, fam. Salute. Man, we gonna cook tonight. We are gonna cook tonight. So, Patrice X, I did what you said. Um, so what I do have to get is I got two options. I can get another green screen that's much bigger, but because I have an old version of Chromebook, they were saying it's better for me to just get another webcam that has the built-in background already in it. So we'll see. I got to take a few things back, but the important thing is the microphone. The microphone is working. All right. Family, if you come in and you see the screen, don't pay it no attention. It was an experiment, you know what I mean? Um, but hey, y'all, we growing. I have to take a few things back. Um, I'm probably gonna get another webcam, take the green screen back, maybe get another webcam that has the built-in because most of the applications for this old version of the Chromebook, it's not even worth it. So I might as well just get another camera that can have the you can download the background you want. So you'll see me, you'll see the chair and all that good stuff. But family, hey man, it feels good. It feels good to be live and have my microphone and be able to cook with you all this evening. So this is what I wanted to talk about. Matter of fact, hold on, family. Let me move that green screen. It looks stupid. Yeah, boy. So I don't know why, but when I go live, for whatever reason, when I go live off my phone, it actually sends the notifications out, and I get a lot more people in the beginning. When I do it on my laptop, I don't know what's up with that, but um, it's all good. We're gonna cook anyway. All right. So I wanted to talk about the hypocrisy of the media. It's a lot of things that's taking place right now, and they're playing in our faces, and we're not catching it. So let me start here. You cannot, what do I always say? You cannot be double minded and double tongued. You cannot play both sides of the field and serve two masters. So we have to not just hold our fighters accountable, we also have to start holding these commentators accountable, these so-called media personalities who should be helping the sport. Now I'm going to show you all what's going on, what has been going on. Salute, Universal Truth is in the house. The mic is working. We are about to cook. Now, Sean Z gave a shout out to the Black American boxer. Max Kellerman, I believe, was on either today or yesterday, praising us, right? And I see a lot of brothers and sisters are, they, hey man, that's what's up, you know, giving out the universal cookout pass that we love to give out to everybody. After all the history that has taken place, we do that. But I'm going to tell you all something. You all know what I learned from the Mexican people. I can guarantee you all that the Mexican people aren't going to have any love for Max Kellerman moving forward because of the way he disrespected Canelo on stage. But I'm going to get to there in a second. I got to deal with us first. So I have to show the evidence. I'm going to wait a few minutes. I'm going to let a few more people get in here because I don't want Patrice and Mac to be the only wrenches in here. Now, usually on my phone, y'all know I know how to do it quick, make someone a moderator. All right, cool. Just click on your name, add as moderator, Universal Truth in the house. I added you as a standard moderator. Let me see who else is in here. Who else is in here that I can trust, that I can make? Isaiah W. already has a wrench. Okay. Man, look at this, y'all. Look at the mic. Look at the mic. Huh? I'm coming to America. Eye to eye. Nation to nation. All right. I'm gonna try to act right, y'all. I'm gonna try to get through this and act right. It's something about the mic. I'm telling you. All right, here we go. So please like, subscribe, and share because I want a few people in here, at least 10, 11 people in here before we start really getting into it. Because what's gonna happen is coach gonna start cooking, people gonna miss the evidence, and they gonna be like, "What happened, coach? What you talking about?" And then I'm gonna have to repeat myself over and over again. A condo is back in the house. A condo is back in the house. Salute, family. Let's get the family in here. We got the new webcam. We got the new microphone. We got the new backdrop, but I got to take that back. I got to get us something else. I got to take that back. Queen Tay Tay. Do you see? Queen Tay Tay, do you see your boy? Do you see your boy? Hey, huh? Huh? I'm a bad man. I'm a bad man. I'm trying to tell you. I went and got this because the family been supporting your boy. I made a little coin, off the Crawford versus Canelo fight. Hey man. So I said, look, if I'm gonna do this for real, if I'm gonna do this, and I always give a shout out to my brother Drew Titan. If I'm going to do this, after my brothers have supported me, after my brothers have sent me into these YouTube spaces, I might as well go all the way in and do it right. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell y'all a story. I'm going to tell y'all a story because I got the microphone, damn it. So check this out. This is what a lot of y'all don't know. And this is why I wasn't going to make a channel. When I first started speaking on YouTube, nobody knows this. Nobody knows this. When I first started speaking on YouTube, Coach was sick for a year. I was sick for a year. The year before that, I had to close my gym because I was getting sick. And when I started hearing the brothers on YouTube, because I was in isolation for a while, I started getting up more. I started exercising more. I started going up the mountain, calling cadence like I did in the military. I started getting my strength back. And then when I started hearing my brothers bear witness to the truth and seeing people go against it, I started getting in it. I had to start getting in it. This is divine work. This is God's work. This is God's work. And now, family, I just found out last week that I am now fully medically retired from the military. So that means Coach got time. I got other things I have to do sometime, but I got time for this. And I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know where it's going to take me, but I'm going to tell you this, fam. I am not doing this to go be mainstream. That's not my mission. I'm doing this because we need some soldiers in these spaces to go against the wicked, to go against the liars, to go against those who are playing with us, who love and support this sport. Now, to my Mexican brothers and sisters, you all need to learn that this same media that was just dragging us for 2 years, calling us cowards, calling us Tom and Jerry runners, they will flip on you so fast. And if you do not witness that, let's go to the evidence. We got almost 10 people in here. So let's start getting into it. I want to start off showing you all the hypocrisy. Salute, my brother Drew Titan is in the house. Brother was just speaking about you, was just speaking about how you told your brother to get a channel. And now I'm here. Now I got a microphone. Now, family, let me tell you, Coach is a cheap man. If I start buying stuff, I'm in it to win it. I ain't going nowhere for a while. You hear me? But look, let's go into some of this evidence real quick. Appreciate you, brother. Let's go into this real quick. So today, I'm gonna let you all hear this for yourself. This was yet another reminder that when it comes to boxing, that little black kid from the ghetto is quite a formidable force till this day at this highest level. And that archetype still remains king, still has produced the greatest amount of fighters in the world. And I am proud to acknowledge that as a fellow American. May not be a black American, but I'm American. These people are my countrymen. And the United States has the most world champions in the history of boxing. Mexico's at number 2. So you saw the top 2 historic cultures, at it in the ring. And they're going to do it again and again and again. This is a great rivalry. I want to acknowledge that because, I don't know, some people, for some reason, I don't know, I get uncomfortable about it. They don't acknowledge it. We're quicker to acknowledge the Japanese honor and culture, the Mexican warrior, the stoicism and skill of the Eastern European. Tip of the hat to the Black American fighter, which has, in fact, produced the greatest fighters of all time. If you made a Mount Rushmore, they might all be Black American. Well, you know what? Hey, damn it. If I wasn't who I am, I would have thought, damn, this man right here is an ally. Look how he's praising us. Look how he is lifting us up. But I keep telling y'all that I study too damn much to fall for the okey doke. So while hundreds of you were up under this man's post praising him for this, when we have black men in all of these content spaces that's been saying the same thing, and it ain't a problem. If he is saying this and is genuine about it, ain't no problem. But here's the problem. I want you all to hear something else. Because see, I don't want nobody to say that I'm lying. Family, this is an interview between Sean and Radio Raheem, and they are speaking about Tiafimo's rant. Oh, Drew, I'm gonna get into it, Drew. I'm gonna get into all of it. Now, this is the same man that was just praising the black American fighters, us. Now, who remembers when Tio went on that rant and was saying, man, F it, y'all can have the black guys, y'all can have the black American fighters. F it. Da 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 da. And he went on that rant. You all remember that rant? That first one? So in this video, Radio Raheem is saying, as a black man, he's saying Tiafimo is ruining his own chances because he'll do something great, and then when he doesn't get his way, he has a tantrum, which is a problem. All right. Listen to this, family.
Rebranding of your image. You could have grown up that night and grown into a star. And instead, you became a toddler. And it's a shame. But everybody has another chance to get it right tomorrow. And so maybe tomorrow we see the.
Salute to the General 78 Sports TV is in the house.
Teofimo Lopez that Teofimo Lopez deserves to be and the boxing world deserves to see.
Let me argue for T.O. a little bit and in no way defend the N-word comments and all the.
Now let me stop there. Let me stop there. Radio Raheem just said, and this is all he said. Radio Raheem is saying he should not go on these racist rants because he is ruining his image. He's ruining his chances in business. Y'all man that y'all was just praising, this is Sean saying, let me argue for T.O. real quick. And this is in no way saying I say the N-word is okay. Let's get into it.
At all. But that aside, Lopez, I'll never forget seeing him in the mall here in Vegas about around Christmas time 2020. He had just beaten Lomachenko, and he had to share Fighter of the Year honors with Tyson Fury. And me and Samantha and my son, who's one at the time, are walking through the mall. Who's in the food court? Tiafimo eating Sabaros with his uncle, and he was sad, and he was sad that he had to share Fighter of the Year honors with Fury. And he looked at me. I could see the hurt in his eyes, and he goes, "What do you think of that, Sean?" And I think he wanted me to tell him what he wanted to hear. You should have been fighter. And I said, "Look, T.O., Sugar Ray Leonard shared it with Salvador Sanchez, and Sugar Ray Leonard beat Thomas Hearns, And I said, Fury's a heavyweight. I get it, your point. Wilder's not Lomachenko in an elite pound for pound sense. And I go, but they're heavyweights, T.O. Like, it's a big deal. He came to America knocked out, didn't just beat, he dominated, knocked out an American champion who's it's all good. Blah, 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 blah. My son gives him a big hug and everything. We try to, cheer him up and tell him the truth. So he thought that Lomachenko fight meant just the floodgates were going to open. And he fumbled that. He winds up, thumbing his nose at Arum because he did only make about $1 million, $1.5 million fighting Lomachenko. For comparison's sake, Haney winds up making about $5 million plus. Haney was the champion. Lopez was not. There are reasons for this. But Lopez basically is, you could definitely argue, the most accomplished of all these young guys. And yet he may have been paid the least out of all of them, Ryan Garcia, Shakur included. So he's upset about that. He feels like, where's the justice? I thought this sport is all about racking up titles, being ring champion and all this. I've done it twice. Don't these guys have only done it once in Shakur and Devin. So
Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing. If you want to see or hear that interview, you can actually go to his page and you can listen to it for yourself. Because after that, Radio Raheem is basically like, nah, forget that. That's still effed up. Basically, what he just said was, oh, well, because I ran into Tio and Tio told me his frustration that he had to share Fighter of the Year with Tyson Fury. I can kind of understand where he's coming from. What? Wait a minute. Since you left the organization you were with, it has been brothers who have been bringing you on, like Radio Raheem, like Sean Porter, and you sit up there and say, well, and listen to me. Anybody that's a non-black person, anytime you have to start a conversation and you say, I'm not defending the N-word thing, or I'm not defending the lynching thing, I'm not defending the racist thing, just shut up. Just stop. Just stop. Because see, that ain't got nothing to do with boxing. At that point, you are inserting yourself into something that you shouldn't insert yourself into. You're trying to understand and sympathize with someone that you shouldn't be. Because let me tell y'all this, family. If one of these black boxers says something about a certain community, I guarantee you, ain't nobody gonna be saying, well, I understand what he's coming from. Or, well, maybe you took it out of context. All of them would fall in line and say, you know what? I ain't putting my hands on that, because they know what will come with that. But see, all a person got to do is smile in our face. So here's my thing, and this is the point that I'm getting at, family. This is the point. Kudos to Sean Zattel for standing up and saying what he said to Dana White about the Muhammad Ali Act, because nobody else was standing up and doing it. Great job. Kudos to him for standing up and trying to praise Black American fighters. The only thing, like Champside said earlier, that I disagree with is they don't have to be, I think Champside said it, they don't have to be from the ghetto. They don't have to be from the hood. Muhammad Ali was greatest. He was the greatest because he stood up. He stood up on his morals and principles. He wasn't some hood dude. Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't no hood dude. We have plenty of fighters who came from the country who were highly skilled. You don't, here's the issue. And they keep trying to paint this narrative that you have to be some poor from a single family home, single mother raising you, misguided youth to be great. And you don't. And you do not. Here's my only problem. You all waited. You all waited till a black fighter did something amazing to come out and say this. I didn't hear nothing from a lot of you. When it was time to stand up and be an ally, you weren't. See, it's easy to be an ally when you're comfortable. It's easy to be an ally when your job ain't on the line. So what I would ask of all of them, whether it's a Sean Z, whether it's a Max Kellerman, whether it's a Jim Lampley, whether it's a Jim Gray, whether it's a, I don't have to say Teddy Atlas because Teddy's Teddy. You all cannot be double-minded and double-tongued. Like Patrice X said, Kobe, Jordan, Ali all came up in nice family homes. Mother and father present. So stop believing this. They all got to come from the trenches. BS. But we not done. We're not done. I'm going to show you the hypocrisy. Because it ain't just Sean. And we have to call out the establishment. We have to call out the elites in the sport because you all allowed this to go on when it looked profitable to you to allow the racism in the sport of boxing. When it was profitable and you all thought Tio and Ryan were about to be your cash cows, you all let them get away with all kinds of disrespect, never reprimanded. Right now, there are people who are not even getting in trouble for popping hot. Ratchet since 91. I know, family. It's when I'm on my laptop. When I'm on my phone for whatever reason, they go out. But when I'm on my laptop, I have issues. But I was shadow banned like 2 weeks ago. So I'm just gonna keep going live, keep working. Eventually it'll straighten out. But family, this is what I need you all to understand. Talking to us for a second. Because I'm going to talk to the brown community in a second as well. Appreciate you, Ratchet since 91. You all have to understand that the elites in boxing said, hey man, it's okay. It's okay for you all to disrespect them. It's okay for you all to cheat against them. We're not going to investigate. It's okay. But now that Terrence Crawford has done something that is amazing, and they see these black fighters coming up again, like Devin Haney, like Norman Jr., like Abdullah Mason, like M. Billy, they like, man, these brothers are bringing some smoke. This whole little racist thing that we were letting ride is no longer going to be profitable. See, you all get it twisted. Salute Joseph Towns in the house. Do you see me, dog? Do you see me, dog? We moving up in the world. We moving up. Made a little bet money and we went and got us a microphone and a webcam. Tried to get a backdrop, got the wrong size. But I'm probably going to get another webcam that has the backdrop built in. But we're going to get into that in a second. Let me show you some more evidence. Now, who remembers Max Kellerman went up to Crawford? And what did he say? During the grand arrival, Max Kellerman went up to Crawford and said, hey man, you playing the villain real good. And then later on he said something around Mexicans keeping the sport going. Now that was at the grand arrival. Listen to this, family.
Boxing's not as popular as it used to be anymore, right? UFC is really popular. That's because of Dana White. He built something like the NBA. Stop now, because he's about to do it for boxing again. For boxing now. You want an NBA or an NFL in boxing? Here it comes. Because he knows how to build an institution. And how do you do that?
Hey, Max. Boxing is always bigger and big. Don't say boxing is not big enough. Boxing is big. You know how big is boxing.
Should it get bigger, yes or no?
Yeah.
Should it get bigger, Canelo?
Yeah, maybe it's gonna be bigger, but look, boxing is always big and bigger and bigger. We need to talk about that too. Boxing is boxing.
I love Canelo in English, by the way. I love it.
Boxing is boxing.
No lies.
No comparison.
How do you
No
do it?
comparison there.
Now, how disrespectful. How disrespectful. Canelo never gets on the mic and usually cuts off commentators. Thank you, Patrice X, to my brown community, to the Mexican community. If you are not versed in racist microaggressions, that is what that was. I don't care what nobody tell y'all. When Canelo started saying what he was saying, A condo. A condo. I thought I gave a condo a wrench. I got you, fam. Let me cook real quick. When Canelo was saying what he was saying, that oh Canelo, I like that English that he was doing. We all know Canelo wasn't getting out what he really wanted to get out, but he was basically trying to say, Max, you need to shut the hell up because this is the biggest boxing event in the last decade, and you're one of the main speakers of the event, and you're sitting up here just disgustingly riding Dana White's meat. This is what I'm talking about. They cannot be on both sides. And we let them get away with it. We let them get away with it over and over again. That man sat up there, looked Canelo in his face, and disrespected that man. And if Canelo would have got up and smacked the shit out of Max, he wouldn't have been wrong. That was, how dare you get up there and say, at the biggest boxing event in the last 10 years, sit up there and say, well, if you all want this to be right, Dana White is here. Dana White's gonna get this thing right. You want it to be like the NFL? You want it to be like the NBA? You want boxing to be bigger? Well, Dana White's gonna do it. You disloyal, fool ass earth man. If it was not for boxing, you wouldn't have had no job at ESPN. But see, we fall for the trick every time because somebody on one issue, it looks like they're with us. We give them a universal cookout. Just because he stood up there on ESPN and spoke up for Colin Kaepernick, that don't mean nothing. What did Malcolm X tell you all about the liberal? See, I don't want to get into politics, but what our ancestors told us yesterday remains today. Patrice X said they really didn't like the fact that Crawford jumped in and united with Canelo against Max. That's a fact. That's a fact. Do you know how disrespectful you have to do the sport for two fighters who are about to, with everything on the line, about to go at it, gang up against you? Crawford got on the mic too and was like, yeah, bro, what you talking about? You talking about Dana White this, Dana White that? This is what I'm talking about. But today, you got Max up there praising it. And we keep falling for the same thing. Here's the issue. You all either be with us fully or not at all. See, it's cool to sit up here and praise Black American boxers now that Crawford is the face of boxing. Talk to me. Now that Crawford is the face of boxing, it's safe. Now that he's the face of boxing, it's okay. But just last month, you all were calling us cowards. You all were calling us Tom and Jerry runners. That's what was happening. So don't get up here and try to act like now that you're an ally. Prove that you're an ally over and over again. Like Howard Cosell proved that he was an ally to the great Muhammad Ali. That is an ally. Y'all ain't no damn allies. Because here's the issue. The reason why y'all have not proven to be allies is I can pull up interviews where you're going completely against what you're saying now. You are a liar. You are a goddamn liar. And we falling for it again and again and again. Now, I have a question, family. If they love the Black American style so much, and they love Crawford so much now, ain't y'all the same dudes who were dragging Devin Haney? Ain't y'all the same dudes every time Abdullah Mason would fight? You all are on the corner talking shit. But now y'all are with us. Now you all want me to believe that you're with us now. No. I'm sorry. I'm not going. I'm not going. You all have to stop falling for the same trick where you are bamboozled. The only trick The only difference from back in the day, they used to say, the devil down south and the devil up north. The only difference was that the devil up north was just slick with it, wasn't right in your face with it. They'll joke with you, laugh with you, shop in the same store with you. But as soon as they see that you're doing better than them, now, I thought Max said that the Mexican people were saving the sport of boxing. Talk to me, family. Is that or is that not what Max said in the face of Bud Crawford, disrespecting him? Max disrespected Crawford and Canelo again and again. Then he sits at the table and disrespects Andre Ward in the beginning of the fight. Every time Ward says something, here comes Max. Well, Crawford, I hear you, Ward, but Crawford hasn't took no punch from Canelo yet. And let me tell you something. It ain't always about what you say. Sometimes it's about how you say it. Let me say it again. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. He didn't say it in a way where it's like, well, let's see how he takes the punch of Canelo. It was Ward, nigga, shut up. Canelo got this. See, he has a condescending microaggression that I'm too familiar with. See, y'all can't, some of you youngins can't tell me nothing, and some of you old cats can't tell me nothing. Because I've worked in corporate America with them. I was in the military with them. I was in law enforcement with them. I know the sound of it. I know the smell of a condescending MFer. You can't play that trick on me. I know the difference. See, I know that backwood racists that like to try to spit when you walk by. I know them, and I also know the up north racists and how they move. And whether you a racist or not, you're moving like one. Whether you're racist or not, you're letting me know that if it is the new norm to be racist in this sport, with your microaggressions, with how you handle our fighters, with how you handle PEDs, that you will sell your soul. See, we have to stop letting them be allies and enemies at the same time. And look at all the videos where there's people running up to Max saying, man, Max, we miss you. It reminds me of those HBO days. Who heard that? It reminds us of those HBO days. Some of y'all don't even understand what that means. Some of you don't even understand the code behind that. It reminds me of those HBO days. Well, what about the HBO days did you like so much, Cat? Tell me, what about the HBO days that you love so much? That's right, Patrice X. They use seasoned passive aggression with a smile. Now, this is what I've been trying to preach to the family, to the black family, and to all the non-black people who are also not looked at as white. If you cannot be a great white hope in the sport of boxing, what you need to understand is it can be open season on you as well. Look how quick the media turned on you. Look how quick the media turned on you. I ain't talking to the black folks. To my Mexican brothers and sisters, look how quick they turned on you. I keep trying to tell you that the relationship that we have with racism in America, you should be on my side, not fighting against me. To those who are self-hating brothers and sisters, you should be on my side, not fighting against me. And listen, to the poor whites, they don't like you either. As soon as they feel like that they cannot control you the way they want, they own your ass. As soon as Usyk, let's get into it. As soon as Usyk said, no, 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 Crawford, Crawford is the pound for pound champion, best fighter in the world. They've been on Usyk ass since. He got that phone call. Usyk, when you getting back in the ring, champ? Hey, Usyk, we seen you dancing on the video. You look fine to me. But look at all that time they gave Fury to do whatever the hell he wanted. Wake up. Y'all are smarter than this. You all are critical thinkers. You're better than this. But you all let your favorite fighter make you fight with your brother. Or you let these petty little arguments, this BS that you are so focused on that don't even matter. Look how they turned on you. Look how Max sat up there. Let me tell y'all something. To every Latino, Latina that watched that press conference, I want you to go back and look how Max Kellerman spoke to Canelo. Somebody from Canelo team should have got up and smacked the shit out of Max. And I don't call or condone violence, but you don't talk to a man like that. You wouldn't have no job right now if these two boxers were not fighting. How dare you get up here and praise Dana and shit on us? And you in our house. And then when Sean Zattel gets up there and talks to Dana White, how dare Dana talk to Sean like that? And say, hey man, what you being an asshole for? He didn't answer the question. Did you all notice that? He did not answer the question about the Muhammad Ali Act. He went right past it. Did that BS. But I promise you, let me show you the self-hate among us. If Dana White was a black man, we would be on his head. Every day there will be videos on him, content creators. If Al Heyman would have went and tried, let me talk to y'all Negroes for a second. If Al Heyman would have came into the sport of boxing and tried to get rid of the Muhammad Ali Act, you all will be calling to jail that man. But y'all ain't got no smoke for Dana. Y'all ain't got no smoke because you are spineless, because you are weak. You are a compromising black man. No smoke for him. For some of you Latino men who ain't have no smoke for Max Kellerman when he sat up there and talked to Canelo like that. You are spineless. You are culturally weak. You think that you have so much conquistador in you that you ain't got no ties to your Azteca blood that runs through your veins, that makes you the warrior that you are. I'm going to talk to you straight. If don't nobody else do it, I'm going to talk to you straight. You don't hold their feet to the fire the way you should. But y'all want to sit up here and talk to me about some damn Bill Haney. Nick, hey, look, let me tell you something. I don't want to hear nothing else about you don't like Devin because of Bill. Real talk. I don't want to hear nothing else about you don't like Devin because of Bill Haney. When all of this crap that's going on in the sport, y'all ain't got no smoke for. Let me paint this picture for you all for a second. What would you do if you invited a man into your house? He puts his muddy boots on your table, tries to have sex with your wife, disrespects you in front of your children. What would you do? What and how would you feel? That is what happened over the week. That is what happened last week before the fight. And you all ain't have no smoke for Max. Max is cleaning house now and changing what he was saying. See, because Crawford won. But let me show y'all. I ain't no fool, because if Canelo would have whooped Crawford, let me keep this so plain to y'all. If Canelo would have whooped Bud Crawford, we would be hearing this is the end. Let me make this plain for y'all. We will be hearing that this is the end of the Black American fighter. This is the end of the top American black fighter. And let me show you all these hypocrites. Tim was talking, right? Tim Bradley was talking that talk, calling out Boots to be great. Here was my only issue. Tim was talking shit about Shakur not even 2 years ago. All right, you have a change of heart because of what he did with Zepeda. Cool. How come you still have an issue mentioning Devin Haney? How come all of you who are praising Bud Crawford now are the same people who have shitted on Devin for years? And listen, I'm not going to give you all any excuse. Take away the Ramirez fight. Take away the Ryan fight. You all were dragging Devin when he was being great against Regis. You all were dragging Devin when he was being great against Loma. You all were dragging Devin when he was being great against Cambosis. And the only reason why, it ain't have shit to do with Bill. The only reason why you all were dragging him is because he was a threat to your favorite fighters. How disgusting of you. How hypocritical of you for all of you now to come up and say, man, look at the Black American boxer. I tell you that Black American, man, y'all can miss me with that. Y'all are hypocrites. You all were just trying to lynch us in the media with the watermelon and chicken and banana jokes, with the Tom and Jerry jokes. Matter of fact, let's pull it up because they're going to say, man, coach is reaching. All right, let's pull it up for a second. This is from Turkey Alashik with 2.1 million views. 2.1 million views on this post. From this point on, I don't want to see any more Tom and Jerry type boxing matches where one fighter is running around the ring and the other is chasing him. We can longer support these kinds, he meant no longer, support these kind of fights with Riyadh Season and the Ring magazine. We want to support fighters who leave it all in the ring and fight with heart and pride. Question for y'all. Did Ryan Garcia leave it all in the ring against Rolly? Was he not still on the Ring magazine YouTube show that they did with Mike Coppinger and Max Kellerman? Let me ask this question again. Family, for those of you who saw the fight, did Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero leave it all in the ring that last fight? Or were even fewer punches thrown than Devin versus Ramirez? Okay, the answer is no. Now, how does Ryan Garcia get on that show with the Ring magazine? Some might say, well, coach, maybe they're getting ready to build Devin versus Ryan. All right, fine, but that's against what Turkey said. Turkey said, we want to support fighters who leave it all in the ring and fight with heart and pride. Now, how come these fighters get to go claim Jesus, to duck Devin, and then a few weeks later, they're talking like they don't have a Christ bone in their body? Let me ask this question again. How come fighters get to claim Yeshua, leave, duck a fighter? Y'all don't say nothing. You don't say anything. And then they come around a few weeks later, cursing all on the interviews, talking crazy. What happened to this Christ-like grace that you all had? Well, you all did the interview when it was time when Rolly should have been calling out Devin, does an interview talking about, yeah, man, I'm a changed man now. And I applaud you. I applaud you if you are for real. But if you are playing with the righteous name of Jesus, if you are playing with the righteous name of Yeshua, you should be dealt with. Don't use it to be a cover for your cowardice. See, It is because of the spirit of people who follow Christ, the real followers. They don't do nothing to y'all. Because, see, overseas, you all couldn't play with Islam like that. Something would happen to your ass. But you all want to sit up here today and act like y'all are with the Black American fan base. You all are with the Black American fighters. Family, let me tell y'all something. That show that Crawford just put on Canelo, that masterclass was molded and shaped through Black American boxing, through the USA Boxing program. The same program that Clarissa Shields went through, the same program that Shakur Stevenson went through, the same program that Tio and Ryan went through. So while you all are sitting up there allowing them to have these rants, just remember, they didn't come up in Mexico learning how to box. Some of them were taught by Black men. Shout out to Coach Eddie. Shout out to Coach Anthony. Shout out to Coach Hudson. Shout out to all the coaches around this nation who go above and beyond to train our youth to get them to the point that they're at today. But y'all want to act like y'all with us. Y'all are not with us. We have to stop being bamboozled and hoodwinked. We have to stop being tricked and ran amok on us. Because let me tell y'all something straight up. If you all disrespected one of them like that, they would never allow you back around them so easily. Never. What they still talking about today? Well, you know, Bernard Hopkins said that he never let a white man beat him. And look what happened. They still talking about it today. But y'all want to sit up here and forgive everybody but each other. That's why I don't pay all that beef and stuff y'all do with each other. I don't pay it no attention. Because I know what real beef is. I don't pay it no attention. We just being niggas in front of the world. We being Sambos in front of the world. Self-hating Sambos. We only have smoke. I mean, I hear us go at it with each other. Drag each other. Talk about pulling up and this, that, and the third. But let a white man call in. Boy, you calm down. You ain't talking how you was talking. You smiling, you cheesing. Got your feet crossed. Ah, man, you know. But let a brother ask you a question. Man, what you mean? Fuck you mean? What you talking about? Nigga, don't ask me that shit. Nigga, I'll pull up. Hey, nigga, hey, nigga, I'll be in your city next month. Come on, y'all. That grace that you all have for Ryan, that grace y'all got for Tio, that's the grace y'all should be having with each other. And I'm gonna say this. I know some folks ain't gonna like this. Nipsey Hussle once said, we have to work on how we deal with each other when we feel disrespected by each other. Because we let everybody else disrespect us and we handle them with care. You can't say nothing about the police subduing one of their own who has a weapon and they blow us down and you do the same thing to your brother. I know you don't like that. I know you don't like your eyes being open like that. But my words are going to force your pineal gland open. You won't be able to shut it if you're listening to me. So if you don't like hearing the truth, you might want to get gone. But I'm going to force you to deal with that germ that's in you. I'm going to force you to deal with the reality that you're not handling things right. And it's okay. Some of us have to be retaught because we've been around so much ignorance. Some of us have been on survival mode for so long. Joseph Townsend, or the grace they have for old Charlie. That's right, Sheldon LDBC, over a boxing opinion. You all be ready to gun each other down over a boxing opinion. What is going on? Excuse me. So this is what I'm saying. When you all clap, and this is what I'm tired of. I don't want to hear nobody else talk about handing out a cookout pass because for a few seconds they look like they're an ally. Go look at what they've been saying the last few years, and then decide, hey man, we rocking. But listen, don't give out no damn universal cookout. If you want to rock with them, you rock with them. You say, hey man, I rock with you, but don't give out no cookout pass. Has history not shown y'all why we shouldn't give out cookout passes to places that we should feel safe in? Colonization, look it up. Transatlantic slave trade, look it up. The slave trade that happened in the Middle East, look it up, family. And that might be a whole nother topic. But we have to hold these commentators accountable for when they say one thing when it's profitable, and then they say another when it's cool too. Nah, homie, you don't get to click hop. One of the most cowardly individuals that would be around the crew that we would have to shun is people who clicked hop. And I'm not praising negative things, but dudes who were, you was a blood in 7th grade, then you was a crip in 9th grade, then you was a GD in 11th grade. We had no respect for dudes like that. Now that we're grown, I can say them young brothers had an identity crisis and really needed just some real male mentorship. But when I was young, peace to the brother Delano in the house. When I was young, we looked at you as a coward for doing that. And it wasn't just about games. You had to be who you were. In high school, I was known as an ROTC kid that could fight. And that's what I did. They see me, they say, hey man, that's B Hood. ROTC, he be boxing, he be wrestling. Now, my brother was a part of that life. They knew that I was not in that. But people also knew that if you ran up on my brother, I was hopping in. See? But see, Mac of the South, in certain places, they are trying to mirror the real thing. So people don't get disciplined in certain suburbs like they would maybe where you're at. So what happens is there's no real consequence until somebody real pops up, which eventually is what happened. Yeah. See, when I was in high school, quick story, a little off topic, but quick story. No, it's still on topic because I want to give you all an example of how we deal with each other as black folk, but then we let other folks click hop among us. In high school, I get to high school, y'all. As a kid, I grew up in Chicago. So I know what real gangster disciples look like. I know what real vice lords look like. I know Four Corner Hustles, the L. Rukins, all of that. But when I moved down south, I went to this high school trying to keep my head down. Somebody finds out that I'm from Chicago. I'm not in no gang. I'm a kid from Chicago, minding my business. A group of them came up to me, a group of these so-called GDs who were really false claiming teenagers who got a little bit of knowledge from somebody and were really false claiming. They pressed me, y'all. They pressed me in the lunchroom. I said, "Hey, man, I don't want no smoke. I'm not in no game." They said, "All right, man, just make sure you stay that way." I said, "Okay." Made a phone call back home because I have family who really is. And this is what they told me. And let me show you the difference from real gangsters from back in the day and these predators of today that are too cowardly to do things, so they send young folks on crash out missions. My older cousin said, "Just chill. Everything gonna play out the way it's supposed to. But they press you again, let us know." Now they didn't press me again, but let me show you how it worked out exactly how my cousin said it was gonna work out. There was a brother that came to the school. His name was Ahmad. Ahmad was one of those high schoolers who was like almost 20, been held back a few times, but he was a real GD. He had a glass eye, never forget. But his glass eye didn't look like Charleston White's glass eye. His glass eye had this gray type of it was this gray type of thing going on. When he hit the school and found out that it was guys false claiming his gang, to make a long story short, all of them so-called gangsters that called themselves pressing me, a non-gang member, yeah, they were dealt with. He found out about it and they were dealt with. I say that to say, growing up, we had a code. You couldn't be both. You just couldn't. You had to pick your path and stay on that path. And if your black ass stepped outside of that path, you're gonna get dealt with. And I had them all. I had them all around me. Whether you was in the church, whether you was with the Nation of Islam, whether you was gang banging, whether you was pimping, you couldn't do both. And if you did, it always ended in tragedy for you. So you might say, "Well, coach, what that got to do with anything?" You might say, "Coach, what that got to do with boxing?" We keep allowing these commentators to do that exact thing. These media guys, they get to click hop. Follow my example. They get to click hop without ever getting down. They get to click hop without ever fighting nobody. They get to click hop without ever putting in no missions. They get to click hop, click hop, and stay unscathed, stay unscratched. They don't get hurt. But they get to sit up there and talk to a Canelo Alvarez and a Bud Crawford like they down. They get to talk to Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford like they've been in the game, like they've been fighters their whole life. Let me tell y'all something. When I worked in the prison, dudes like that, something would have happened to them. Something bad would have happened to them. I'm not condoning violence because I don't want violence to come to these men, but we have to stand on principle. The same way I guarantee you, Max Kellerman will never, he will never have the camaraderie with the Latino community the way he did before this fight. Because the way he spoke to Canelo, they're never going to forget. We got to be on that same kind of timing. But family, I just wanted to point out those hypocrisies. All right. I'm going to land my plane here on that. And my message to us is we cannot allow people to come among us and play with us like that over and over again. Black Jericho said it exactly how it is. Max is looking to serve the highest bidder. He is a click hopper. This is a man that's supposed to be an ally to boxing. That's why, that's what they get for putting him up in the front and Teddy Atlas in the back. Teddy Atlas should have been in the front. Max ass should have been in the back. And I don't care what nobody say. Teddy should have been up there. My last point. That's what we get. Patrice X, that's exactly where I'm going. Patrice X said you could tell Dana got Max in his pocket. Max knows something. I'm gonna tell y'all that. Max knows something. He wouldn't be riding as hard as he did. See, Black Jericho, that's what Teddy would have balanced that out because the guy from the UFC, John, what's his name? It's John A. John A. He did a wonderful job, blow by blow action of the fight. He ran circles. Unfortunately, he ran circles around Max and Ward. Max shouldn't have been there because every time Ward tried to say something, half the fight, Max was in the way. And while they're doing that, John is calling it. He's calling that damn fight. Do you know how that made us look? Do you all understand as boxing commentators how that made us look? So people are not following the actual business. I was gonna land my plane, but I'm about to just fly that thing right back up in the sky for a second. Because I got to cook on this. Boxing is a business. Dana White is one of the best businessmen when it comes to combat sports on the planet. You all don't think the next time they're in a boardroom, they're going to pull up the PowerPoint and they're going to show, look how people are saying John A. did versus Max and Ward. You all don't think they're going to use this as leverage? That's a UFC man. So I guarantee you all are going to start seeing it go from 1 and 2 boxing commentators to 3 old UFC commentators. Because honestly, they would have did a better job. And let me tell you something. If I was Ward, because see, Ward getting that podcast money now, I wouldn't let them use me as a stepping stone to keep pulling the crap they're doing. Because the only reason why a Max Kellerman can pull that crap. Watch this. Look, family, everybody that's watching this live, Chris X just brought up a good question. He said, what do you think the surprise is that Turkey told Dana to announce? Whatever it is, Max Kellerman knows. Did my mic go out? Mic check, mic check. Test, test. Can you all hear me? Test.